These two bolts.
Gotcha.
And then when you move your tires out of the way, you're going to have two more, and then it'll release your axle.
Okay.
So, take that. And remember, the tires are directional.
Gotcha.
There's one thing. That over there. See these other bolts? And all these are standard 14. Alright, so the carbon fiber around the headlights is real thin, so you're going to want to grab, there's a bar behind this little piece of plastic, but be careful to not break that piece of plastic. So just pull them straight out and not wiggle them back and forth to damage that plastic here or here. And then you got your four-wheeler set and ready to be put together. And package your brakes in here. We'll just leave it right here until we're ready to bolt that on. But as of right now, we don't need that. There it is. Other than a finger. And what I'm doing now is just inspecting everything that's already bolted up, making sure everything's good, because you don't want to put the whole thing together and then like a brake line be messed up or something and then you have to ship it back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically. And you can look at that little glass right here. See it?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a copper color inside, which indicates that it is full fluid. So you got your brake fluid already full, and you ain't going to worry about any brakes in the line because that says right there it's full. So now we put it together. Where was that knife at? Thank you, sir. This is just all your goodies and everything, like reflectors, your battery.
Yeah.
We'll have to go over how to install that battery because it's not just a simple battery. You actually have to put the acid in the battery. We'll go over that afterwards. Lift that up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Hold up. Okay. Hold on. I have to lift it up again. will lift that up a little bit. So all I'm doing now is just supporting it, getting it off the ground, so that I can get my control arms and everything. These are control arms, upper control arms, and of course, there's the brakes. Do not forget the brakes. So this one is going to go on this side. See that one? They took it way off in the motor, so don't forget them. Alright. So when I'm taking these loose, because you can get confused on where these bolts actually go. So your upper control arm, you're going to lay your bolt on the top side. Your lower control arm, you're just going to take it and lay it on the bottom. There's no confusion. Absolutely none. And then your shock, it's going to be just a little bit shorter. So you're just going to put that like that so you don't get it confused with that one. So you know that's your shock bolt. Now we got to locate your shock. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Alright, so these are universal shocks, which means you can just grab one and they'll go on either side. So the spring is going to go to the top section. I'm going to slide it just like that. I'm going to let it sit. And you're going to take that shock bolt here. I'm going to put it through. And do not tighten it down, because you have to have movement in order to. And the casting of these metals is not going to be dead on point, because as you can see, I'm having to force it over. But what we're going to do is take that metal here and we're going to bring it back. So it's made of that thinner metal so that you can do that, because it gets bent during shipping. Arm here. Remember where your upper bolt was, and you're going to slide it right in. And of course, that metal's going to be bent a little bit. So I'm going to take and put pressure downwards. And if that don't work, give it a few love taps. Tap it on through. And then you take your nut. There's that. So you tie rod in. It's right here. You got a crush ring right here. Don't lose that crush ring. That crush ring lets you know when the nut is actually tight enough to where it won't back off. So you put your crush ring on there, then you start your nut on there. Just like that. And that's how the whole front end's done. That's going to be 15 on the nut side. So I ain't going to tighten that up all the way right there. Now the lower control arm I will. That one's tight. See how that metal brought itself together? That's how it's supposed to be. Right in here, see that gap? Look at that gap. We don't need no gap in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring that metal together and it's going to hold that shock in place. And these are adjustable shocks. So what that means is you can adjust the ride height, or you can lower the ride height. It all depends on what you're wanting to do. So once we get the tire bolted on, then we'll go back and check the rest of the bolts. Right there. So you gotta bring that out. Then you got to take your fuel line, hook it back in, because I hooked the brake shoes up to the fuel line to ship it. Well, you make sure you get that clamp back in the original groove, or it will be. That right there, and that's done. The upper, put it up top. Oh, sorry. The lower, set it where you know you ain't gonna knock it off. You're missing a nut.
It's right here. It was right here at the beginning for some reason. I don't know
That was the one I seen that was shipped loose.
Yeah.
So, they're unpackaging. Make sure, pay attention to loose nuts. Look at her. That was already lined up just perfect. Just take this. Slide it right on through. Remember the crush ring. These are your brake shoes. So they're only going to slide in and set one certain way inside the wheel. So this notch and this hole. So once it's in there, it's got to line up. So you're going to set these in. Set them in just like that. Make sure that they have room to move in that manner. Alright. Then we got to lift it up. Hold on. Gotta get that ring out of there. There we go. Gotta put that ring. Alright. Then the wheel locks into the brakes. Right there. And your bearing ring goes in here. And do not scar or mess up that seal. So you gotta set that in and make sure you don't mess up the integrity of the rubber of that seal. And you put your big washer over that. And then that one there. Take that back off because you're going to need that. Turn that. Excuse me. And you're going to set it in here. You're going to make it flush. Make sure it does move. If it don't, then what you'll have to do is adjust this little section here in order to get the movement you need. Alright, lift up. And then sit down. As you can see, it locks in to the tab on the control arm so that it can't come loose as you're riding. Just take it and move it around a little bit. And there's that. That's always lay everything out. Make sure you got everything. Check the threads. Make sure your threads are always good. Just to get it started, we're just going to simply lay it over. Don't gotta worry about adjusting it just yet. Oh, there. This one's been sent back.
It's tightening the e-brake down now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting the emergency brake set in place. Make sure it's tight. You don't want to over tighten the bracket because you will bust them screws in that soft aluminum right there. Now we can move that pallet.
Yep.
See that?
Is that air that just came out of there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has to be vacuum sealed, or the cells in there will get damaged. Now what we're doing is getting the acid open. Just that. So it does have puncture things for the aluminum right here, but it never works. So just taking manually open them like that. And just take your battery. Push it down on it. And then make it go in. Create air pockets. To the top. And that's empty. Then you use the thing that you pulled off of that. Set it on there. And you make sure that it is 100% sealed, closed. And how you know it's 100% closed, you put all the pressure you can on it, and you won't hear it making any more noises. Just like that. You take it. And your battery's hot and ready to go. Slide that in there. Take that. Just let it catch there. Same thing. This side. Just like that. gonna be a little tight going in. Oh, come on back out. There it goes. Just like that. And there it is. Battery installed. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm gonna take them gloves off. Just gotta adjust it. Put your Carter keys in so the nuts don't back out. Just like that. There you go. Red ones go to the back.
There's the finished product.